Well, today on the workbench we have a pair of STIHL 2-stroke blower vacs. These are set up for a vacuum setup. Complaint is low performance. Another complaint is a fuel leak. One of them seems to have a fuel leak and is missing a suction tube. So we'll put a new suction tube on it. Quick diagnostic for a fuel leak is the visual inspection. We can see what looks like leaking fuel all over this one. This one doesn't appear to have that. My favorite method is to check the fuel level. Who's ever more empty, we have fuel. We have no fuel. Bone dry. I'm going to assume this one has the fuel leak. And I'm going to assume this is from somebody overfilled it or spilled something on it. Number one reason for low performance is a clog. Either a clog here in the discharge tube or a clog in the suction side. Pine needles, pine cones, they'll all clog it. Sometimes it'll even jam up right up here on just between the discharge. The next reason for poor performance is a bad fan. The fans do wear out and are replaceable. I don't know of any aftermarket fans, but they're not that expensive from STIHL. They're affordable. Pine cone remnants, partial clog, string, not really a clog, but doesn't help. This rubber flap is a sound deadening material. When it flaps off, it's a performance reducer. Here's a new one. Should be nice and solid. If it's flapping off, either scrape it off or replace it. Fans are 14mm and they're reverse threaded. Take a look at our difference in our fans. We're a little worn down. Well, there's your problem. There's your performance issue. She's a little worn down on both of them. We'll replace both fans. There's always a big old wad of hair and string underneath the fan. So take your pick and pry out all the hair and string stuck behind here. There's a little bit of string, but it's mostly all hair. That's all hair. Real common to find phone chargers, earphones, things like that stuck back here. And there's what came out. Well, this one definitely has our oil leak in it. We're leaking out of the vent. The tank vents failed. This thing exploded on its way out. Usually if they explode on their way out, they're bad. Give it the suck and blow test. It should suck, but it should not blow. The cover recoil spring drops right in. Folds back and snaps into place. When the covers get this bad, you gotta throw them away. This one's got this big hole in it right there. This one's got this big crack in it here and right there. All that reduces performance and throws junk back in your face when you're using it. Well, this unit here had the bad fuel vent. It was leaking out of the vent, but that wasn't the real fuel leak. I told you whichever one had the empty gas tank is probably the one with the fuel leak. I put fuel in this one, and as soon as I did, it came leaking out of right here. This mating surface between the housing and the tank. This is a whole integrated half part right here, so this may be more expensive than it's worth. There's no aftermarket available for these, so you're stuck buying OEM. We got the okay on a new tank piece with the frame handle. It's in a lot better shape. It looks really good. $48 off eBay, free shipping. One of the ways to talk your customer into replacing parts or spending some money is to find something else wrong with it. This original one had a bad wiring harness. It wouldn't shut off. It's been repaired several times apparently. And this one has a good harness. Let's give it the switcheroo. Here comes trouble.
Consider it.
Did you bring me a beer?
Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Well, here we are pumped up to about 10 psi. It's not leaking. We'll test it by venting.
I owed you one. I thought you'd like these.
We got a new section of fuel line going on, and we need a new primer bolt for this. We're going to use the 209948 out of Rotary's primer assortment. We'll work the old motor back in the new housing. Washer, fan, washer, chipper, and nut, reverse thread, knocking it out. Housing,
Or suck gold.
suck nuts.
Suck nuts.
Pretty
You suck nuts. What else you want? Be a great brand name.
It really would.
It sucks nuts.
Cover with recoil starter.
Dude, what's this thing?
And
Wow, you get the foot. Yeah.
let's go give it a suck test.
It sucks some nuts.
Let's suck nuts, baby. Suck some nuts.
Suck some nuts.
That guy's a nut sucker.
I know, I said when I said that, I said, I don't think I've ever said that before. Let's go suck some nuts.
I'm gonna put that in the edit. Let's go suck some nuts as a test.